Doctor who exposed SARS cover-up under house arrest in China, family confirms.
Here's a summary of the article.
The Chinese military surgeon who exposed the government's cover-up of the severe acute respiratory syndrome epidemic in 2003 has been placed under de facto house arrest since last year, according to his friends and family. The fate of 88-year-old Dr. Zhang Yanyang, a retired general in the People's Liberation Army, has been brought under the spotlight after a whistleblower doctor, Li Wenlang, who exposed the coronavirus epidemic, died last Friday at the age of 34. Zhang has had his contacts with the outside world cut off and his movements restricted since April last year, after he wrote to the top leadership asking for a reassessment of the 1989 Tiananmen Square pro-democracy movement, said a close friend, on condition of anonymity. Zhang was treated in 301 Military Hospital in Beijing, the hospital where he served for more than 60 years, from April last year for more than a month, but was guarded under heavy security and banned from being visited by his family at the time, his friend said. Zhang has pleaded more than once with the authorities to reappraise the Tiananmen pro-democracy movement, which was brutally suppressed 31 years ago. The elderly Chinese surgeon became a national hero by exposing the government's cover-up of the SARS epidemic in 2003, but was detained and forced to undergo brainwashing sessions after he called on the government to acknowledge that the 1989 student movement was a patriotic movement. As a doctor, protecting patients' health and lives is first and foremost the most basic requirement for a doctor is to speak the truth. I have experienced numerous political movements for 50 years, I feel deeply that it is easy to lie, so I insist on never telling lies, he told the magazine.
This post received a score of 39,844, with an upvote ratio of 94%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Winner, Worst Cover-Up of 2003. Nominated, Worst Cover-Up of All Time.
Epstein is definitely in the top 3.
Gotta admire a cover-up so bad that it takes a conspiracy theorist to believe the official story.
Is it a bad cover-up if they get away with it? True, the public knows there was a cover-up, but they also know that whoever was behind it is above the law. I think that's a win for whoever wanted Epstein dead.
Greater than whoever was behind it is the law.
Yeah, what are we going to do about Judge Dredd? No.
Okay, so we got to Judge Dredd. But where is Doctor Who? I am still waiting after reading the title which one of them did it.
If Doctor Who wasn't such a pacifist, those episodes would be much shorter. Lots of people would be stuck in mirrors,
Screaming as they go insane in complete isolation, for all of eternity.
This could backfire on Xi and his gang the way it did on Stalin. At the end of Stalin's reign, he announced a purge of medical doctors. Called the Doctor's Plot, hundreds of doctors were rounded up by the secret police. So when Stalin suffered a stroke, there were no doctors to help him.
Mao already did this and he's still considered godly to many Chinese people.
Mao had the best luck ever. Possibly one of the slimmest buggers to ever live. He made so many huge mistakes and idiotic decisions yet somehow came out on top. I don't know how the man managed it. Beyond me how the leader of an unstable, young communist nation, that could revolt at the drop of a hat, could get away with accidentally killing about 50 million of his citizens. Fuck sake, that's almost 8.3x the population of my country.
He got rid of the Japanese as they raped and pillaged their way across China. Also China went through a massive drought at the same time, so many people blame the drought and less the man. This is the viewpoint of Chinese people since lots of people are thinking this is historical fact. There are plenty of people quoting the real history between the CCP, KMT and Japanese.
Saying he got rid of the Japanese is smudging the truth. The KMT did the majority of the fighting versus the Japanese. This depleted the KMT so much, that mixed with the poor strategy of the KMT leaders in the Civil War allowed the Communists to take over the country.
Yup. The prince of the KMT was far too by the book and not dirty enough. He should have just gone inland, crushed Mao's dumbass and then pivoted around to the Japanese. Mao was Stalin levels insane.
It's complicated. Based upon American diplomats that were there, a lot of our supplies that went to the Republican government did just that. They weren't being used against the Japanese but preparing to crush the communists. The frustrating messages coming from Allied diplomats to China document some of this. Long story short, it's not so cut and dry.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.